To get started with cards, we need another page, and I will call this page Cards and More, because we will add some more visuals to it in the next lectures. And yeah, let's get started with the simple card. You used it already. The card can be found here, this 1, 2, 3 symbol, and let's just place the card maybe somewhere here, like this. We'll see. So the card again just has one single field as we saw it on the slicer, and in the card you could, for example, again take our good old population count and add it right here. Now you get a count of 819 billion. That's again the cumulative value of the population for our entire date range used in the report, because any kind of slicer, and that's very important, is not applied on this page right here, right? Because this page doesn't contain any slicer. Therefore, this is now really our cumulative value for the entire data set. Again, if you have a different number here, make sure to select the visual again and to go to the fields here and then change the default summarization. Here we have the sum, which is fine for us at the moment. It's important that in the row card, in the single row card in the end, you can only add one single field. So if you would, for example, again take our share of the female population here, if you would drag it to the fields area, then our share would be replaced. However, as we selected the visual, we are not limited to one single filter though, because as we saw it previously, we can by default see our filters on the visual with the fields being used in that visual. But we can of course add multiple fields to further tailor our visual here. So let's say if we take the year now as a field, as a data field here in the filter, now we take the basic filtering and we enable the single selection, so we can only select one single value here. So let's say we take 2020. Then you see that the 2021 it was, sorry, 2020 is what I wanted to select. You see that immediately the value changes. So we cannot select 21, 22, anything like this. So although the single row card can only contain one single field, you can of course tailor your filters. That's the single row card. But if we unselect it, we also have a multi-row card which can contain more information. For this, we can find the multi-row card right here. And let's maybe make it a bit bigger, like this and like that. And one important thing you can see immediately is that the multi-row card, though it's called multi, again only contains one field. Now, let's again take the female population, maybe this share. Okay, so let's now do what we did before with the years in the filter, because if I again take the year now in the multi-row card and add it right here, you see we are able to add additional fields right here. That's a multi-row card, so we have one single fields area here. Here we had the same thing, but we could only add one field. Here we can add additional fields though. One thing we see is that the year is, well, not the correct one. You know why this is happening? It's the default summarization that we applied. So if we go to the option right here, this time we don't need to have the sum. We simply need don't summarize. So just give us back the year, the data for the corresponding year. So with that, we get a share of the female population for a specific year. What we could of course still do is, and now the year is already here, we could simply say we go to the filter, take the basic filtering, again the single selection as we had it before, and now select the year 2020, for example. Now this looks a bit better. And as we're not limited to one or two fields, we can of course also add a third field, for example. This could be in our dim region table, our countries this time, like this. Now we have plenty of countries here, that's way too much. So let's again close this year filter, and let's now go to the country filter, basic filtering, and here I would like to have, let's say, Austria, maybe Brazil, Canada, and maybe, I don't know, Costa Rica. Oops, like this. So as you can see, the idea of this multi-row card is that you can create tables, so kind of tables, which contain multiple types of information in different detail levels. So this is the cards type of this part of the course. As you saw by the page name, I want to show you a bit more, because especially if you're working in a business context, there are two important, well, visual types you probably saw before and you might want to recreate in Power BI Desktop, and these are combined visuals and waterfalls. Let's dive into these as a next step.